I think we can see on screen, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very much. So hope I am audible properly, and you can see a screen also.
It's okay, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. So first of all, I would like to thank principal of the college, Tapti Education Societies, Bhusawal, Arts, Science, Commerce, and Nahata Commerce College, Bhusawal, for inviting me to deliver a lecture on a very important topic, as my friend Dr. Nethe, Professor Nethe just told about this particular topic. Also, we have principal of the college, Dr. Meenakshi Vaipade, Dr. S.V. Patil, vice principal of the college, uh, Dr. R.R. Patil, who is one of my very good friend, since he did his MPhil when I was in Pune University, and of course, Professor Nethe, who is very good friend of mine. We were together while working, doing our MSc in a TIFR collaborative program. I would like to just ask one more thing, whether it is properly audible or voice is.
Somewhat
Is it
echo,
okay?
sir. Somewhat
Is it
echo.
Somewhat echo is there.
okay? Then I will have to
Little
make
bit.
it off other account. Just a minute.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Now I think it will be proper, right?
It's so very good now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. This is a very really interesting story. Since I have given number of lectures on Einstein and various scientists, basically, when I remember when it was in 2005, relativity concept completed 100 years, and I was appointed as a coordinator for Western India to inculcate research culture and these innovative activities among the students and teachers. And in fact, that time I got an insight that only the classroom teaching learning. I think beyond that there are many things which we should try to understand, and not only that whether he got a Nobel Prize or he succeeded or whatever or winning a particular thing. I think process is very important, and that is what I think we should cultivate this particular culture among the students and teachers. Since our the work culture is very important actually, and that is what I feel that this story would be definitely useful for students and teachers as well. I would like to start with since instead of directly going to the photoelectric effect, I would like to mention a few very important aspects. As we know that since science and technology has been developed since quite long, it is not only 100 years or 200 years. It is far from ancient days. It has been developing. But if you look at the from point of view of the major developments, or if in a physics language, if you want to say peaks in science or innovation, then I think Newton is one of the major peaks. He made a foundation to hold all the science concepts. In fact, the thing which we are talking about, photoelectric effect, as on today, since wave nature and particle nature, it has been proved with this particular effect. But in fact, Newton had that time also proposed the corpuscular theory, that is the particle nature of light. So Newton had given a very strong foundation to the science, overall science, different concepts. But after Newton, I think each and everything was always seen from that angle only, like whether Newton has written anything about this, then and then only it is true. Otherwise, it doesn't have any proof as such, and therefore many such kind of concepts, new things were denied at that time. But after almost 150 or even more than that years, many things came forward that it was observed that there are some limitations in the theory which was proposed by Newton. Newton's three laws are very, we well known, but even gravitational laws and even other things are also very much well known. So it was found that many scientists, in fact, came forward, whether Heisenberg, de Broglie, and many. In fact, there was a black body radiation, that concept. In fact, there are many things, in fact, which came to mind that whatever Newton has said, it is not the ideal thing. It is not perfect. So there are some limitations, and we need to modify some aspects of science, basic sciences. And from that angle, many people came forward. But 1895 to 1905, these 10 years, these 10 years are, we can say that it's a magic years, since it is also called as a golden decade in science. Since this particular 10 years, these 10 years, whatever has been, innovated in this particular 10 years, we are using the same thing as on today. So X-rays, for example, 1895, as we know very well, then radioactivity 1896, Schumann effect in 1896, electron, concept of electron 1897, quantum theory in 1900, like Max Planck is a very important example. Biochemistry, conversion of sugar into alcohol, that is also, very, what we can say is the revolutionary kind of concepts. Malaria parasite in the Anopheles mosquito, that this research was done in India itself. Human blood types, A, B, O, or whatever it is. Then first transatlantic telegraphic radio transmission, the existence of ionosphere, first successful airplane, Wright brothers, first successful, first electric locomotive, first vacuum tube, flat disk form of phonograph, first practical photoelectric cell, photoelectric effect in 1905, and relativity in 1905. I think these 10 years are really magic years in the science, science and technology, we can say. And I think therefore I would like to just give brief idea of these 10 years. As we know, the Röntgen, he was very, hard working and hard working researcher, and you can see the ring over there in the first X-ray, and it is said that this particular first X-ray was his wife's hand, and I think that made a history. As on today, as we can see that the X-rays are used in almost each and every field. I don't find any field, whether it is a material science, whether it is an aeroplane, or whether it is a structure, gold, this and that, identifying structures, even the bridges also, whether there is any crack or something like that. Diamonds, for study of diamonds. I think this is a very important discovery, as we can say. So this was the first. Actually, he got a first Nobel Prize. In fact, Nobel himself had said that the prize should be given to a person or that institution who has really worked for a common man, layman, not only for this or that. And that was one of the reasons that why Einstein was not getting a Nobel Prize almost for 16 years. He got after 16 years. So relativity was one of the very important innovation that time, but he couldn't get a Nobel Prize. This was one of the reasons. So there are many other areas. Discovery of radioactivity is also very interesting story. I will not go into all the stories, but these are really interesting stories. In fact, if any student or teacher, if he just focuses on one scientist, then you can learn many aspects of science, not only physics, but you can learn chemistry, you can learn biology, you can learn mathematics. Not only that, even technology, engineering, and many aspects you really can learn from that particular story. Then Marie Curie and Pierre Curie. Marie Curie is, of course, is one of the best example. One girl student, studying in a Paris university, and she was the only one girl student in the university. So we can imagine how we are very fortunate that in Maharashtra, particularly in Pune, Savitri Bai, in fact, made revolutionary things in the education of girls. And in fact, that time in Europe and even America also, the education to girls was not provided. And I think Marie Curie is one of the best example. She got 5 Nobel Prizes in in her family. I think that is a very inspiring story. Human effect, we can see that the lines, energy lines, how it can be separated, and we can take the values, different values out of it. Human effect is very important experiment in 1896. Then electron, of course, this is also this uh, theory is very important. This experiment is very important for photoelectric emission. Since the same experiment setup was modified, Professor Naite told about Leonard. I think he modified the same setup, and then he could prove that yes, there is a something of photoelectric effect. So Thomson in 1897 was the first to suggest that one of the fundamental unit was more than 1,000 times smaller than an atom, suggesting the subatomic particle, now known as the electron. Thomson discovered this through his explorations on the properties of cathode rays. Biochemistry, conversion of sugar into alcohol outside the living cell. This raised questions about whether such processes were a manifestation of a special life force that existed only with living matter. In 1897, Edward Butcher discovered that yeast extract with no living yeast fungi can form alcohol from sugar solution. This was also very important thing. Malaria parasite. This is a later actually, in fact, Sir Ronald Ross. In fact, he was in India at that time. He was appointed especially, to look after the kingdom of British people. But he thought that I should do something for this common people. And on 20th August 1897, in Sikandarabad, Ross made his landmark discovery while dissecting the stomach tissue of an Anopheles mosquito fed 4 days previously on malarious patient. He found the malaria parasite and went on to prove the role of Anopheles mosquitoes in the transmission of malaria parasite in humans. Anyway, these are some of the stories. I will not go into the details. And of course, this was a very, very important discovery or innovation, whatever you say, quantum theory in 1900. Max Planck, in fact, Einstein always respect Max Planck as a teacher, as a guru. He said that my guru is only Max Planck. He was not, respecting others, but he was always respecting Max Planck. And that is one of the reason that, since Max Planck that time said that, see, the energy which has been emitted, it is in the form of quanta, small packets. And that was the one statement, and that changed the history. Not only physics, but otherwise also science, technology, everywhere now. As we can see that this concept is not, in fact, he talked about thermal radiations, but now this concept has been used in almost all energies. Even light energy we called photons, thermal energy we called phonons, sound energy is called as sonons, and so on, magnons for magnetic energy. So I think that quanta, small packet, I think that was a very revolutionary kind of concept he introduced in 1900. Then human A, B, or O blood groups in 1901. Then first successful airplane 1903. Wright brothers, as we know that even learning bicycle during our childhood days, we might have fallen number of times. So we might have got many scratches or this and that. But we can see that these two brothers, if you remain together, two brothers, then what can happen is the best example. Then the first two radio, of course, radio telegraphy transmission. Jagdish Chandra Bose, in fact, Indian scientist, he in fact had proposed, he had proved in a laboratory. But that is one of the very important thing, that even though if we, prove in laboratory, but that is not acceptable at international level. You have to prove at a commercial level, in a big way. And that is what, in fact, Marconi did, and he got a Nobel Prize. So even though That is since last decade, I'm working in invention, innovation. So invention may be little easier, but innovation is not at all easy. So for example, like as we know that the circuits we made, ICs, integrated circuits, and VLSI and whatnot now. But that was the invention. But innovation is now our today's mobile, Android. That is innovation. So there actually we are lagging. For innovation, we are lagging. I think right now, almost I think we're around 80 or 90 countries do participate. There is a one very important ranking. It is called a GII, that is Global Innovation Index. There are number of rankings, like for example, university rankings. Unfortunately, not a single university from India belongs to first 500. That is very unfortunate. Like that in research, we are doing better. We are around 30 to 35 as far as the ranking of research is concerned. But invention or innovation, there we are lagging quite a lot. We are around 60s, I think 55 right now, around 55. So in the competition of innovation, we are far behind. So mainly Europe, Americans, Japanese, no, these particular countries, UK, they are in the first 10 always. Hardly one or two plus minus, but otherwise they are always in the first 10. But we are not in even in first 10 or first 20. We are after 50. So I think that is one of the area where we have a lot of scope. And the in 1905, the great man, hero of science and technology, he proposed a number of theories. Like photoelectric effect is actually basically started with Brownian motion, relativity, photoelectric effect. Then of course, E equal to mc square in the same year. And not even that. In fact, he published his own thesis. So it is said that there are five, different researches like photoelectric effect, Brownian motion, special theory of relativity, E equal to mc square, like energy can be transferred into mass or mass can be transferred into energy, and his own thesis. So such a five publications were there in the same year. And believe me, all the fives were almost like equivalent to get a Nobel Prize. But of course, committee, thought on this particular line. Actually, committee was not at all respecting Einstein that he is a scientist. They used to say that he is not a scientist. He just, trying to make magic this and that like that. He is not a basic researcher. That was his image that time. But it was proved later on that whatever he imagined, whatever he said, whatever he expressed, it became true later on. Of course, it took some time. And the gravitational waves in 1916, Einstein's prediction of gravitational waves was experimentally confirmed by laser interferometer exactly 100 years later on February 2016. So this is very interesting. So then stimulated emission of radiation in 1970, lasers, masers we talk about. I think that was also very important, revolutionary kind of concept. Lasers are used almost in any field now. Nobel Prize in Physics, 1921, Bose-Einstein condensate, BC, Bose-Einstein statistics, 1925 to 25. This is also a very important story. The Bose-Einstein. In fact, Bose, he was a professor in college in Calcutta, and he proposed this particular theory. And someone told him that instead of publishing directly, why don't you, interact with Einstein? He was little afraid. How can I, talk with Einstein, or how I can communicate Einstein, and whether Einstein would be a kind enough to go through my theory, my research paper, and give advice. So someone told that at least you should send. So fortunately, Bose sent his paper to Einstein, and within a few months, he got a reply, and he was very, it was very like a praising kind of reply. He said that your work is very wonderful. You go ahead, and that is what actually he of course he suggested few suggestions, and later on the corrections were made, and again the paper was sent to Einstein. And then later on, Einstein discussed with him, and he said that it is okay, now you can publish. But at the same time, what Bose has done, that he wrote Einstein's name in the paper, and that to first name of Einstein and second himself. But Einstein refused to write Einstein his name. He said that please don't write my name. It is your own work. I think this is also we should learn that otherwise we always try that my name should be here and there. But Einstein was a very different kind of person. So Einstein said that I don't want my name. But somehow there were a lot of communications, and later on it was decided that Einstein's name will be there, but it will be at a second place, not at a first place. As far as my knowledge is concerned, I think this is the only research paper where Einstein's name is second, not first. So this is a very interesting story, I think. So there are Einstein, of course, he born and brought up in Ulm, Germany in 1879. And of course, he died in 1955 in Princeton, USA. Affiliation at the time of, there are many awards, as you can see. Prize motivation for his services to theoretical physics, especially for his discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect. Einstein received his Nobel Prize 1 year later in 1922. In fact, it was declared in 1921, but it was actually received in 1922. So Einstein, grew up in Munich, where his father founded an electrical engineering company. After studying at the ETH University in Zurich, Einstein worked at the patent office in Bern, during which time he produced several pioneering works in the field of physics. It's also very interesting that Einstein was not getting a job. In fact, he got a job as a clerk, and that to third grade clerk. So you can imagine, what was the image of Einstein that time. Nobody was recognizing him as a scientist. So of course, he was later employed at University in Bern, Zurich, Prague, and from 1914 in Berlin. After the Nazis, actually that power came in Germany, and Einstein immigrated to US, where he worked at the Institute for Advanced Studies in Princeton, New Jersey. He married twice and had 3 children by his first marriage. If metal electrodes are exposed to light, electrical sparks between them occur more readily. For this photoelectric effect to occur, the light waves must be above a certain frequency. However, according to physics theory, the light's intensity should be critical. In one of several epoch-making studies beginning in 1905, Albert Einstein explained that light consists of quanta, packets, with fixed energies corresponding to certain frequencies. Professor Nethe, actually, he mentioned about, actually Einstein didn't do any work, actually not experiment as such. Basically, Hertz and Leonard, they had worked a lot on this line. And of course, Leonard was not able to explain why it is happening. And that was the imagination of Einstein, which clicked that it is only and only due to packets. That is a theory which is proposed by Max Planck. And that is the reason why we are able to get this particular effect. So one such light quanta, photon, must have a certain minimum frequency before it can liberate an electron. He got a Nobel Prize, and he got a Nobel Prize for, as you can see, for the photoelectric effect, and not equal to mc square. This also, should know that during the selection process in 1921, the Nobel Committee for Physics decided that none of the year's nomination met the criteria as outlined in the will of Alfred Nobel. And that was the reason. According to the Nobel Foundation statutes, the Nobel Prize can in such a case be reserved until the following year, and this statute was then applied. Albert Einstein therefore received his Nobel Prize for 1921, 1 year later in 1922. So actually, as far as photoelectric effect is concerned, as I was just discussing, that in 1831, Alexandre Becquerel observed the photoelectric effect via an electrode in a conductive solution exposed to light. In 1887, Heinrich Hertz observed the photoelectric effect and the production and reception of electromagnetic waves. And in 1902, Philip Edward Leonard observed the variation in electron energy with light frequency. Albert Einstein's mathematical description in 1905 of how the photoelectric effect was caused by absorption of quanta of light, and that made a history. So Becquerel actually photovoltaics transforms incoming light into electrical energy. Its underlying principle, the photoelectric effect, was discovered in 1839 by Alexandre Becquerel while experimenting with the electrolytic cells, to which he attached an anode and a cathode made of platinum. He measured the current flowing between these two electrodes. He noticed that there was virtually no difference in the amount of current under luminous or dark conditions. So he had discovered the basis of photovoltaics, although practical implementation would only take place generations later. So photovoltaics was introduced, discovered that time. Then Hertz in 20 February 1857 till 1894. At a young age, actually, he died. The Hamburg is first noticed by Hertz in 1887. The photoelectric effect is the emission of electrons from a surface, usually metallic, on exposed to electromagnetic radiation such as visible light and electroviolet radiations. I think there are some lines on screen. I think technical person should not allow that annotations to anyone, participants. Philip Leonard was a German experimental physicist who advanced the study of X-ray tubes, the photoelectric effect, and atomic theory. His results led him to propose correctly that most of the atom is composed of empty space. Leonard was a genius. He was really genius, operating with a deep conviction that only careful experimentation could advance the understanding of the structure of the universe. Leonard received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1905 for his work on cathode rays. Max Planck, on 17 March 1905, 3 days after his 26th birthday, Einstein submitted a paper titled Heuristic Point of View concerning the production of transformation of light to Annalen der Physics, is a journal. In it, he suggested that light can be thought of as individual packets or quanta of energy. This hypothesis, which had been tentatively proposed by Max Planck a few years earlier, directly challenged the wave theory of light. So actually, classically, light was supposed to be having a wave nature, but later on, of course, from Max Planck, now then people thought that it can have a particle nature. Then duality of light concept came in picture, that in certain experiments, it behaves like a particle. In certain experiments, it behaves like a wave and something like that. However, Einstein was able to use the idea to explain certain puzzles about the way that light or other electromagnetic radiation radiated ejected electrons from a metal via the photoelectric effect. So photo, light plus electric is any effect in which light energy is converted into electricity. It is first explained by Einstein in 1905. When light strikes certain light sensitive materials, it may cause them to give up electrons. So light photons, electrons ejected from the surface, sodium metal is taken over here. So photoelectric metal is there. You can see blue particles, or as blue light strikes the metal foil, the foil emits electrons that you can see over here. And if the red has been there, when red light hits the metal foil, the foil does not emit electrons. That was seen. Blue light has more energy than red light, as you can see over here in the spectrum. How could we get more energy into the red light? That was the proposition. Try increasing the brightness. Now people thought that it may be possible that the intensity may be a issue, that we should increase the intensity of red photons, means wavelength of that particular photons. And they tried a lot. Photoelectric effect, they increase intensity. But again, they found that electron is not coming out. It didn't work. So maybe it's still not bright intense enough. So they thought that again increase the intensity of red photons. Still, they could not get any electron. So still it is not working. So what happens with the brighter, more intense blue light? So they saw that if there are more, intensity of blue light is increased, then there are more electrons coming out and with a more speed. So you can see the electrons are increasing if you have more blue photons. So it means that the high frequency light, even from a dim source, can eject electrons from a photosensitive metal, and low frequency light, even very bright, very intense, cannot dislodge electrons. That was the conclusion. So photoelectric effect, light like all other radiations is made up of small particles called photons. The higher the frequency, the more energy the photons have. Einstein stated that light interacts with matter as a stream of particle like photons. Einstein received the Nobel Prize, of course, for this particular discovery. If a photon hits an atom of a certain material, it may be absorbed by an electron of that material. However, if the photon has enough energy, the electron is ejected or emitted from the atom. In this way, the light energy changes into electrical energy. If wires are attached to a photoemitting material, the electrons can flow along the wires, forming an electric current. So you can see some of the examples over here, experiments. So why this photoelectric effect is so important? Like he got a Nobel Prize, not for relativity, not for Brownian motion, not for E equal to mc square. In fact, E equal to mc square, that was a very revolutionary small equation. Equation is very small. I should say, since there are many students, I should say that the great teachers, they make things simple. Like very small equation, like Newton, F equal to ma. So small equation. But if you try to understand meaning, even on F equal to ma, we can do PhDs. There are many PhDs people are doing. Even E equal to mc square, there are many people are doing PhDs on that equation. So very small and simple equation. So these are the great teachers, great philosophers, great scientists. So why this photoelectric effect is so important? Then that of equal to mc square also. So actually it helped explain the particle nature of light. It is the basis of the quantum theory. It is proved that quantum theory is existence. In fact, Einstein himself was not of that particular view. In fact, in quantum mechanics, we always say the probability of finding a particle. So Einstein had said that time that if this is the case, I don't think that God can play dice. देव असं काही खेळत असेल असं मला वाटत नाही. But still, he himself proved that it exists. It's very interesting. So it is used in photocells, example in solar calculators, alarms, automatic garage door openers, then flash of camera and so on. I have few examples over here. So solar cell, as you can see, this is a burglar alarm, mainly for security purpose people are using. So if you cross that particular line, there are the light which is coming up. At that particular light, if it is break due to some distraction, maybe some person or something like that, then automatically there will be a big alarm, and people will think that yes, somebody has come, some thief has come, like that. Solar cell is the best example. Now people are moving to solar energy. This is a very upcoming area, challenging area. There are tremendous opportunities in area. I think this due to this photoelectric effect, all the problems were resolved. There were many problems in science and technology at that time. So this problem was resolved, and solar cell is the best example now. In fact, India is also doing very good in this particular area. There are nano kind of solar cells which are coming up, thin film solar cells which are coming up. is a very beautiful and very important application of photoelectric effect. In camera also, photoelectric effect is used in camera for exposure meter. So this is also one of the very important application. The photocell is the, as you can see, is the most ranging of applications of the photoelectric effect. A vacuum tube with a photosensitive cathode, electrons flow from cathode to anode to complete the circuit in presence of light. It works on the basic principle of light striking the cathode, which causes the emission of electrons, which in turn produces a current. So this also photocell also is a very important aspect of photoelectric effect. Spacecraft, the photoelectric effect will cause spacecraft exposed to sunlight to develop a positive charge, while other part of spacecraft in shadow develop a negative charge. I think this is also very important aspect. Night vision goggles. In the night vision goggles, the photoelectric effect is used to amplify the presence of individual photons. A lens system sends any collected light to a glass plate coated with a photoelectrical material on the backside, and this is how actually it works. How night vision works: low intensity light from dark environment, as you can see over there, a very thin layer of gallium arsenide photo cathode releases 1 electron per photon. Low energy photoelectrons are accelerated to a high enough energy to cause. Then many more photons are emitted at the phosphor due to the immense number of incident electrons. And of course, you can see the beauty of this particular effect in the night vision goggles. So these are, I think this is what I wanted to present on this particular day. So Einstein's, as you can see, quantum theory of light wave particle duality equal to h nu. As you can see, we live in a quantum universe, one built out of tiny discrete chunks of energy and matter. Einstein was fully, he was totally convinced that imagination is more important than knowledge. I think whatever he has achieved, it is not achieved only for him. In fact, he was not a rich man. In fact, when he had to take a divorce from his first wife, he didn't have money to, give to his wife. That time he said that whatever the Nobel Prize money I will get, I will, give all the money to my wife. And that time, in fact, lawyer and all this, they also accepted that Einstein is going to get a Nobel Prize on some day, even though there were lot of controversies about Einstein. Einstein, in fact, gave all the money to his wife. I think a person like such an intellectual, I don't find that there is any person of that particular level in the world, in the universe. And therefore, Einstein was, he was declared as the person of the century, last century, 20th century is the person of the century, man of the century. I think not only that, he was so social, he was so cooperative, but he was that way. He was always used to fight for a better cause. अनेक अमेरिकन गव्हर्नमेंट बरोबर पण त्यांनी बरेपर्यंत फाईट केलेला आहे. द रिझन वॉज दॅट ऍक्च्युली व्हेन there was a Nazi power in Europe, Germany and other countries. And that time scientists from America, since actually Einstein had moved to America, and some scientists went to Roosevelt. That time Roosevelt was the president of America. They went to Roosevelt and they said that since Europe is having many scientists like Max Planck, Marie Curie, many scientists were there. And the Hitler can take benefit of this their research, and he can make them to develop a atom bomb over there in Europe. And if they develop atom bomb or nuclear bomb, that will be very disastrous for the whole world. And they went to Roosevelt. Szilard was one of the scientists actually. He was leading that team. He went to Roosevelt. But Roosevelt didn't give appointment to these scientists. He said that I don't want to discuss with such a, this this category of scientists. So he didn't even turn up. And later on, then all the scientists went to Einstein and he requested Einstein that if you write a letter, simple letter to Roosevelt, then definitely he will accept, as your image is a big image in the universe, in the world. So Einstein wrote a letter to Roosevelt that this is the case, and if Hitler if he becomes a successful in making an atomic bomb, then definitely it will be disastrous. So before that, we should do something. And in fact, he didn't write a letter. Letter was written by Szilard and all the group of scientists. Einstein only signed that letter. That was his contribution. But when the letter reached to Roosevelt office, immediately he discussed with other his officials, and they thought that we should make a big project for making a atomic bomb or nuclear bomb, and that was the Manhattan Project. Manhattan Oppenheimer was the leader of that project, and they did that all the work, and they developed nuclear bomb or atomic bomb. And as we know that history, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they dropped that bomb. From that day, Einstein was against American government. He fought with American government. He said that my idea was not to destroy Japan or any human beings, but my idea was to control Hitler. And you made a mistake. And that was, till his death, he fought against American government for such a, disastrous step they took. So there are many interesting stories, Einstein stories. In fact, I used to, tell such stories to my students, faculty, and teachers as well. I think we should take something out of it. These are very inspiring stories. So process is very important. What I feel is that, instead of only what I got, what I stood first and I got this prize, I file a patent, that is okay. But I think we should, cultivate the culture of research and academics among the students and teachers. And that is very important aspect if you look at the Einstein's works. So thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk on this particular very important topic, photoelectric effect. I am very much thankful to my friend, very good friend of mine, Dr. Professor Nete. We, in fact, learned together in University of Pune with a TI for collaboration. We had a very, sweet memories, bachelor stories were there. But I'm really thankful to him and the principal of the college and all their team. In fact, I had been to this college number of times. I got an opportunity, and I think in 2005-6 also I had been there. I talked on relativity. In fact, I had been to this college number of times. I got an opportunity, and I think in 2005-6 also I had been there. I talked on relativity, 100 years of special theory of relativity. I think this very. I'm really happy that you're organizing such a lectures. To motivate students and teachers, not only physics but even other subjects. So thank you very much again for inviting me on this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohite sir. Thank you.
Sir, Mohite sir, one request to you that
Yes.
your face is not visible. We want to take a screenshot.
Okay, just a minute.
So better to have a light on your face.
Just a minute.
R.R. Patil sir, please proceed.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mohite sir, for taking us to a tour through golden era of science, and of course that of the
Light loud,
photoelectric
light loud.
effect. Thank you very much, sir, for your prompt positive support, your prompt positive response, and sparing your time from your busy schedule and guiding us. Sir, hope even in future you will keep your guidance. Thank you very much to all participants. Thank you very much to administration of our college for encouraging and allowing us organize this e-webinar. Thank you very much to all supporting hands who took effort in making this webinar successful. Thank you. See you again.